Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of Inteligense Chek. My name is Grim, or Paul, whichever you prefer. And to my other side, of course, we got my buddy Conrad.
What's up?
So, we mentioned this last episode at the end of it. But to figure out what we're going to do with this episode, we figured, let's look at feats. Basically, feats is short term for features, just that it just separates features and feats. It's weird. Yeah. It's a weird lexicon situation because classes have features and feats are beyond that. So, quote, a feat represents a talent or an area of expertise that gives a character special capabilities. It embodies training, experience, and abilities beyond what a class provides. So a feat is, like it says, an extracurricular kind of thing you can gain. Now, the different methods of gaining them is one, you might find a book or a magic item, or you get training from some dude or female or whatever they choose, whatever their chosen pronoun is, and you can gain this feat. However, for player characters, you can gain feats at different levels also. Basically, that relates to when each class gets their ability score improvement. So, almost all the classes get an ASI, as we call it, ability score improvement, at levels 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19. So, there's a 4-level increment up until level 19. Because level 20 is usually when you get your capstone ability of that class. That said, though, there are two exceptions to the rule. The fighter, for example, gets their ASIs at 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, and 19. That gives them 7 ASIs to mess with.
Woo!
Now, ASIs allow you to increase... I'll get back in a second. And then there are rogues, which get their ASIs at 4, 8, 10, 12, 16, and 19, which gives them a total of 6 ASIs. Now, how an ASI works, I don't know if we mentioned this before or not, but when you reach these certain levels, an ASI allows you to increase one score by a point of 2, or 2 scores by 1. Or you can choose to use the optional feat or the optional feature, which allows you to get a feat instead. So today we're going to be discussing, I believe, 43 feats? Did I get that?
Around that is what we counted.
Some 40 odd feats are available within the Players Handbook alone. There are more feats in the other books, but we're just going to deal with the base standard feats that you get as a player character. So let's start off at the top. The Alert feat. This is feat number 1 in the Players Handbook. For those of you who have a Players Handbook, this is page 154. At least on the PDF version. I don't know how it's going to be if you have the PDF in hand or not. The PDF, your Player's Handbook in hand. Should be the same, but maybe not. Let's see. So, the Alert feat. Quote, always on the lookout for danger, you gain the following benefits. You gain a +5 bonus to your initiative, which is amazing as a frontline fighter or someone who wants to set up certain spells or certain abilities or effects. A +5 to your initiative right out the gate is amazing, means you go first. You're most likely to go in first when it comes to initiative. You can't be surprised when you are conscious, which means if you get ambushed, nobody gets surprise attack on you. You always know that you are in danger.
Crazy.
The alert feat is stupidly good. You're just like, hoo, ha, hoo, hoo. You are always prepared. And the best part about alert is rogues can no longer fuck with you. So other creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls against you as a result from being hidden from you. So rogues who are trying to do sneak attack, get fucked. You can't sneak attack me, bitch.
It's the perfect rogue counter feat.
Yeah, it's a very good feat. It's a very good feat. I'd recommend any like frontline fighters, or even actually any class can pick this up. Any class can pick this up, and it's very good. It's a very, 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 very
Super.
good feat.
Yeah. Like for anyone who really wants to look like, as Paul said, it can work for any class. If you feel you're getting picked on in your campaign too much, or being like, if you've made an arch nemesis rogue, well,
Yeah.
that's who you are. If you're a mate, also might be a good feat to look in. If you know you're constantly being surprised and being attacked like that, or being ambushed, and you don't want to take that extra damage, it's a good feat.
Yeah, the feat's pretty good. Because I mean, also like for example, if you're going through a dungeon delving campaign, you'll be dealing with monsters who are going to come and harass you.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. The alert feat is super good.
Yeah.
It's a really good feat. So I recommend if you can pick this feat up, pick it up. Now remember, feats only come into play, like you only pick up a feat when you have your primary stat completely maxed out, which is 20. That's the max your ability score can go. Unless you're a barbarian, then that's a whole. We always spoke about that. Primal champion gives you a +4, which is ridiculous. But essentially, so pick up your feats when you know that your primary stat is completely maxed out, or you want to max anything else out. Grab feats. As a fighter, it's amazing. As a rogue, it's fantastic. Everyone else has to kind of pick and choose. Gotta be lucky with your stat rolls, and then you'll be fine. But otherwise, you gotta pick and choose. Be careful. Should I take the ASI? Should I take the feat?
Yeah. I personally, I tend to, like, if I know I have a character that has a ASI score that's close to be completed, and if I know, okay, level 4 itself, I have an 18 strength on my barbarian, I'm like, you know what? Let's just take that +2 max 20. At level 4 itself. I personally like going for an ASI increase, at least for the first ASI feat level that you get, which is level 4. So I personally do that. But again, it's up to you. If you feel like your stats are good and you want a good feat, nothing like it.
Yeah. But that's the alert feat. Can't take the next one, buddy.
So the next one is athlete. You have undergone extensive physical training to gain the following benefits. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. When you are prone, standing up uses only 5 feet of your movement. Climbing doesn't halve your speed. And you can make a running long jump or running high jump after moving only 5 feet on foot rather than 10 feet.
Yeah. It's a good feat.
It's a really good feat. Like, again, I'd say it favors a lot of frontline classes, a lot of frontline players, your barbs, your fighters, maybe even monks. Imagine a monk. It's not like they need athlete, but imagine a monk with athlete. He's still got some advantage. He knows, like, if he's prone, at least, okay, it's just going to take him 5 feet to bounce back up, and he can do monk shit.
Yeah. Because I still remember, my monk Drake had the athlete feat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
So immediately I was able to bump his dexterity up by 1, making me even more, hardy in combat. Because basically the idea is, okay, so little, not disclaimer, no, point of information. Some feats do give you ability score increases.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the athlete gives you a +1 to your strength or your dex. But then if your dex and strength already max, then athlete seems kind of pointless. Yeah. Because what you really want is that +1. But the fact that, like, for example, right now, if you are getting knocked prone is like one of the most common things that happen in D&D.
Yeah.
Easily one of the most common conditions you're under the effect of. And when you have to get up from the prone position, it takes half your movement. So if your movement is, say it is 25, it says here a gnome or a dwarf or something, your move is 25. It takes you 10 feet to stand up. And then you only have 15 feet left of movement. So this allows you to actually reposition yourself much nicer. So if say you're a fighter, a human fighter with 30 feet of movement, you're knocked prone, stand up takes 5 feet, you have 25 feet left to move wherever you wish.
That's huge.
It's huge. It's really, really good.
It's huge.
And the running, the climbing speed also, and the running, this can all be happening outside of combat, not particularly in combat thing. It's more of an out of combat situation. But that's the athlete feat. Good feat for any frontliner or any melee class, honestly.
Yeah, very, very favored for the melee classes, I would say. Yeah.
Like a rogue can use this really well also.
Mm,
I mean,
mm.
you can scale walls and stuff like that. Why the fuck not? Do it better.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
It's scary when you think of the more things you can give rogues to, and I'm always like, no, no. They're already a menace. Why do we come up with these ideas? No.
Okay, next feat. The actor feat. Quote, skilled at mimicry and dramatics, you gain the following benefits. You can increase your charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You have advantage on deception and performance checks whenever trying to pass yourself on as a different person. You can then also, that's the first part of it. Second part, you can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by another creature. You must have heard that person speaking or that creature make that sound for at least 1 minute. A successful insight check contested by your deception check allows the listener to determine if the effect is fake. Now here's the thing. Because you're an actor, you make that contested check at advantage regardless. So chances are you are going to pass on. This is fantastic as a infiltration tool.
Yeah.
Warlocks, bards, sorcerers. You got disguise self as a spell? Use it. The active feat is fantastic.
Like how you were talking about, like feats could also be learned, right? Like you can train. Like you could find a person like a con man.
Yeah.
Train under him for like a month. And by the end of it, you would potentially have the active feat. Like that dude would probably like train you how to listen to people. You could learn to mimic their accents, learn to mimic their body language, their styles, whatever. Like that's a nice fun way to kind of play that in also, in case if you're not taking it as a feat and your DM allows you to do it. It's not like
this is the fantastic part. This can also be done in your downtime as well. Like I remember you get your downtime activities. Like you can just spend like if you have this feat, you have disguise self as a spell. The king. You can turn yourself into a king. For an hour, you are the king, or the captain of the guard, or you are the big bad evil guy. You know, if you heard him speak for a minute.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Super
Some
cool.
really fun stuff. Like the application seems limited in what it's written, but what you can do with it is it's fucking just use your imagination. It's
a very passive feat in the sense that it's not something out there, but it, like as Paul said, say like if you're planning to infiltrate something, and like you can find out who the lead guard is, watch his movements, mimic that guy, whoever's going to do it, disguise self. Now you can even speak like him to an extent, probably fool the guard who was standing with him on the shift, take up his guard while your buddies take care of the actual guy.
Yeah.
And there you have one guy now in the scene.
Yeah. One guy can peacefully walk and open the door for you.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
It's good fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the active feat.
Moving on, we got the charger feat. So, when you use your action to dash, you can use a bonus action to make one melee weapon attack or to shove a creature. If you move at least 10 feet in a straight line immediately after taking this bonus action, you either gain a +5 bonus to the attack's damage roll, if you choose to make a melee attack and hit, or push the target up to 10 feet away from you. That is if you choose to shove and you succeed, which basically would be an opposing strength check, depending on how the DM would rule it. This is also an awesome feat for melee characters.
Yeah.
Quite a cool feat. Like I would love to. I don't know. I was this close to actually picking it up for Murren, but I went for ASI. I just kept going for ASI, but it's such a lovely feat, man. Just to dash and even just take that +5 bonus to the attack instead of going for the shove itself is.
Because check this out. Coming back to rogues again.
Oh God, why?
Bonus action dash. Action dash, +5 to damage on hit. I mean,
You guys can't see it. I'm face palming. Paul can see it. Like I'm just face palming. It's fuck rogues.
yeah, and I mean again, like if you're a swashbuckler, you get sneak attack on top of that.
Oh.
Or if they're
Stop it.
or if they're in melee with one of your allies, just +5 plus sneak attack. It's a good feat.
It's a good feat.
It's a good feat. But because I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. I wouldn't recommend this to the standard what do you call it? Because see, most of the standard melee classes get extra attack, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend it for those classes. Mainly because you're giving up your action. Now, how extra attack works is you can only make 2 attacks per turn if you use your action to attack.
Yeah.
So if you have the extra attack feature from your class, Charger is not your best option. I'm not gonna lie, because you're giving up a chance to do 2 hits just for the sake of getting 1 with a +5 to hit. Not great. However, you want to be a battering ram and push someone off a cliff? Go for it. Just tackle the motherfucker and throw him off the cliff. Just yeet him off the cliff. Hell yeah, dude. That would be great. But that's one thing I'd say about Charger. Like if you have extra attack, don't bother with this feat.
Yeah.
It's kind of giving you in that regard.
Again, that's up to you.
That's up to you also. And again, also like if you say the enemy's out of your range, say they're like 60 feet away, you dash, you move forward 30 feet, use your dash to close the distance, then you get a hit in, as opposed to missing out a chance to hit something. But the chances of that happening might be minimal at best.
Yeah.
I mean, like for a barbarian, it could be good. You're gonna wait. Hold on a second. Quick question. Oh no, there's a problem with that also, because it's a bonus action to make a melee attack. So you can't even rage.
Yeah, you can't. You'll have to do it. It'll take 2 rounds to do it.
Yeah, which is not good for a barbarian.
Yeah.
As we covered in our previous episode, always be raging. But yeah, that's Charger. Now, crossbow expert. Now, if you're ever going to play a ranger or a rogue with a crossbow, I'd say go variant human. At level 1, pick up crossbow expert. So, crossbow expert, quote, thanks to extensive practice with the crossbow, you now gain the following benefits. You ignore the loading quality of crossbows with which you are proficient. Now, for those of you not aware, crossbows, you shoot, bonus action, reload. That's how it works. With crossbow expert, you no longer have to reload. You have an automatic crossbow. Now here's the... wait, come back in a second. When you use the action attack... Wait, hold on a second. When you use the attack action and attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use your bonus action to attack with the loaded hand crossbow you're holding. Which means, technically speaking, you can shoot your crossbow twice.
Yeah.
You can go action, shoot, bonus action, shoot. You can shoot twice, which is kind of stupid and kind of cool. But the one... So, Khan and I were discussing this before the stream started. But this is the third feature it gives you. Being within 5 feet of a hostile creature doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged attack rolls. Now, here's the thing. When you're fighting in melee with a ranged weapon, what this usually means is when you attack someone within melee with you, you attack at disadvantage because they're right up front of you. So you can't really aim, where you're going to shoot them. However, with this feature, if they're in melee with you, poof, put it at the temple and shoot them in the head. Now, rules as written. Rules as written. This also applies to ranged spells as well. Any attack spells. If the spell has a 2-hit roll, they no longer have disadvantage if the enemy is within 5 feet of you. Which means you can cast Chromatic Orb at 5 feet, Eldritch Blast at 5 feet, Firebolt at 5 feet. Anything that has a 2-hit roll will be done normally without disadvantage, which is such an oversight because it says ranged attack rolls, not ranged weapon attack rolls.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the wording. I don't see any argument there.
It's kind. I mean, like I said, as a spellcaster, you can pick this up just for the sake, in case you got people coming. Like, for example, you're a what's it called, blade singer. This could work. You're up front in melee, /// bonus action, fucking whatever you want at melee, no problem. So it's kind of stupid. So
quite nutty.
Again, like it's misnomered. It's crossbow expert, I know, and it applies. Like, I mean, 2 out of the 3 things apply to a crossbow.
Yeah.
Actually, technically speaking. Oh wait, no, it has to be a crossbow. Yeah. So, I thought it applied to bows, but no. But that's the thing, though. It's just like it applies to spells. So I'd say rogues or. You're a fighter using crossbows, crossbow expert. It's nuts. It's a very good thing, and of course that little caveat, of course, applies to spells as well. Have fun with it. And it's a good feat. It's a very good feat.
It's a good feat. It's a brilliant feat.
This makes crossbows more. I think like say a crossbow doesn't have as much range as a bow, a short bow or a long bow.
Yeah.
But the damage is higher. And with crossbow expert, shoot twice, man.
Being able to fire twice is huge.
But here's the thing: fighter, extra attack, shoot, bonus action, shoot. Action surge, shoot. 6 attacks in 1 turn. 6 attacks in 1 turn.
Yeah, jeez.
It's kind of nuts. Crossbow expert is an awesome feat. But yeah, that's crossbow expert for you guys.
Yeah, and then moving on, we have defensive duelist. Now, here's the thing. So, before we go into this, there are certain feats that have prerequisites. So, for example, this one requires your character to have a dexterity score of 13 or higher. So, if your dex was, let's say, 12, sadly, you won't be able to pick up this feat. So, keep an eye out when you're reading through feats, and if you see something that likes you, make sure it doesn't have a prerequisite. If it does, make sure you meet the prerequisite also. But let's look at what defensive duelist does. So when you are wielding a finessed weapon with which you are proficient and another creature hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your AC for that attack, potentially causing the attack to miss you. Quite awesome. This is literally you being like, haha, Havati, standing out there with your sword, and then this guy comes with a bad swing at you. You just ching, you can flavor it that way. Haha, how about no? Because you just added your proficiency bonus to your AC for that particular attack he's making at you. He just missed because of that. And it's quite favored towards melee characters. Fighters, barbarians also maybe. Or who knows, maybe. Let's see, is it melee attack? Yeah, it is. Actually, no, it just says finesse weapon.
It's a finesse weapon, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a finesse weapon, so ranged characters as well. Yes. It's
Short
just that the
sword,
other
rapiers.
creature has to hit you with a melee attack.
Yeah, short sword, rapiers, all that stuff is all it works out.
Yeah, it's quite brutal. Again, it's got a prerequisite also. It's a dexterity character, so it's going to be more favored to, let's say, your hunters, your rangers, rogues, even fighters if you're some of them go a little more dex based. So you need to be careful of that. Be wary of that. So some of these feats do have prerequisites. Look out for them. And but yeah, that's defensive duelist. And let's move on to the next one. This one's also quite a fun feat. Dual wielder. You master fighting with 2 weapons, gaining the following benefits. So the first benefit, you gain a +1 bonus to AC while you are wielding a separate melee weapon in each hand. The second ability you gain from this, you can use 2 weapon fighting even when the one-handed melee weapon you're wielding aren't light. The third feature you gain from this, you can draw or store 2 one-handed weapons when you would normally be able to draw or store only 1. Now, this one also, it's a little more favored towards your melee classes, your fighter dudes, your barbarians, let's say even, I don't know, would blade singers look into it?
Not really.
Not really. It's hardcore melee.
Yeah.
Melee
I mean,
characters.
I would say right out of the gate. 2-weapon fighting as a fighting style, not great.
Not great.
I mean, okay. So the +1 to AC is always always nice. It's always nice, but the fact that the two-weapon fighting style is just, it's mediocre. It's not a great fighting style. Like, personally, I would always choose dueling over any fucking chance I get. Dueling will always take over, because +2 to damage rolls.
Damage, yeah.
Can't beat that. You can't beat that. It's too good. But yeah, no.
I mean, it's one of those things. If you like it, you'd probably take it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Again, guys, there are so many feats. It's not like all of them are like, whoa, it's awesome, and then you go to the next one, whoa, it's awesome. Like, some of them really stand out. Some of them are good. They're there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there. At the end of the day, they're there. It allows you to do these things. So it's up to you. Like, maybe you've built a really good character and you just want to these flavorful feats just because you want to be able to draw or store your weapons, like normally and stuff.
Oh, I mean, just
that's for the sake of it.
Let's just say you have all your scores are amazing. You have great fucking armor. You're using 2 weapons or whatever. So you just want to pick up 2 weapons, because after a point, certain classes can take a second fighting style. So you're just like, I want to up my AC by 1. Fuck it. Dual wielder. Why not?
Why not?
But yeah, no, I'd say it's mediocre at best.
It's mediocre. Like, there are really cooler feats than that, you guys.
Much cooler feats. Yeah. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so up next is Dungeon Delver. Alert to the hidden traps and secret doors found in many dungeons, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on perception checks and investigation checks made to detect the presence of secret doors. Which is great. If you're into a dungeon crawl, like say your campaign is a dungeon crawl, you're doing... actually, that's a good question. Whatever. Be whatever it may. If it's a homebrew or a pre-written campaign, if there's a dungeon in there, this could be helpful. Secret doors are always there all the time. Secret compartments, secret doors. Next, the next benefit you get. You have advantage on saving throws made to avoid or resist traps, which is huge. Again, DMs will always litter their dungeons with traps. So many fucking traps. And so many fucking hidden doors. Dungeon Delver will sort you out quite well in that regard. And then, of course, next feature. You have resistance to the damage dealt by traps. So already you have advantage on saving throws, which means usually you take half damage from that save against the trap. On top of that, the trap further does even half damage. So say you're taking 10, you make the save, you take 5, and then because of resistance, you take 2 damage instead. It's kind of nuts. You can actually do a lot of stuff like that. It's really, really cool stuff. And the final thing you get is you can search for traps while traveling at a normal pace instead of a slow one. Now, the Find Traps spell is a trap within itself. If you want to be a trap finder, and if you're a rogue especially, or a wizard perhaps, Dungeon Delver. Fantastic feat. Fan-fucking-tastic feat. I really think you guys should get this one. Chat, I'm sorry. What's up? Hi guys. I'm so sorry. Like basically, we're kind of brushing through these feats as we go along. But how's it going, chat? I hope you all are doing well. I'm glad you guys are here. But yeah, that's Dungeon Delver. Now let's move on to durable. Hardy and resilient. You gain the following benefits. You can increase your constitution score by 1 to a maximum of 20, which is good. Always having more constitution is better because the better your con score, the more health you have. And the best part is if your constitution modifier goes up, it retroactively increases your health, which is super huge. So I recommend picking this up if you feel that you need a boost in your constitution. However, there's a different feat coming up later, which is actually even better than durable. That said though, the second feature of durable, when you roll a hit die to regain hit points, the minimum number of hit points you can regain of the roll is equal to twice your constitution modifier, minimum of 2, which is huge. So if you're taking a short rest, you're rolling hit dice to regain hit points, it's always twice your constitution modifier. As a barbarian, that's a chunk of health you can get back on a short rest. It's super good. Durable is actually a very, very good feat, especially if you're a chonk character. Or if you want to become chonk, durable can also give you that +1 to constitution. It's always a good thing to have. Again, most of these feats give you a bump to your ASI, to give you an ASI in itself. A 1 or 2 depending on.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Even the feat is, yeah. But durable, very straightforward. Information is very straightforward. Moving on, Elemental Adept.
Well, so like I just said rather a little while back, prerequisites. So this one as well has a prerequisite, and you need to have the ability to cast at least one spell. So just to explain that, here's actually the question. Would totem barbarians be able to use Elemental Adept?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, yes.
Rules
as written. It just says the ability to cast at least one spell. It doesn't say you need spell slots, access to spell. No. Just there. Batman was just yeah. I was like, I just had like a nice idea now. But moving on. So, Elemental Adept. When you gain this feat, choose one of the following damage types from acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Spells you cast ignore resistance to damage of the chosen type. In addition, when you roll damage for a spell you cast that deals damage of that type, you can treat anyone on a damage die as a 2. That's pretty cool. You can select this feat multiple times. Each time you do so, you must choose a different damage type.
Yeah. Totem barbarians can use this.
They could.
Because you can cast spells. Like, technically, you can cast spells.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ritual spells, but they're spells.
They're spells, yeah. And if they do damage, you could choose the damage type. And if you roll a 1 on the damage, change it to a 2. So
you can use it, but it doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
At all whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, come on, we justified crossbow expert for casting Eldritch Blast. So, D&D.
But yeah, rules as written, totem barbarians can use this.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
I mean, but the spell otherwise is quite. It's one of those.
Yeah, it's mediocre. It's mediocre.
It only has the feature where you can stack the feature, just racking up different types of damage. But
I mean,
if you're a spellcaster, you already have like an arsenal of spells that do different types of damage. So I don't think you're immediately gonna run to this for the sake of that.
I mean, like you can pick it up also for the fact, like say you're up against a red dragon. No, fuck that. Fire giant. Who are immune to fire. Elemental adept, fire. They no longer are immune or resistant to it. They do full damage. Yeah. It could work.
Good work.
It could work. But then again, with some of the new subclasses that come out in Tasha's, it doesn't really matter. I can turn my fireball into a thunderball if I want.
Yo.
Yeah. So I mean, like this feat when it came out was good. The idea is good because so say you cast a fireball, that's 86. Any ones that you roll just become fucking 2s. Immediately, your damage on the fireball just goes up by 1. Depending on how many. It's kind of good. It's more, like, that 1 more damage could have been the thing that finished the fight. You know? So it's one of those things. Again, it's one of those you can pick and choose and decide how you want to do it. But essentially, easy peasy in that regard. It's a good thing to pick up if you're going to be casting a lot of elemental spells. Be it sorcerer, warlocks not so much, but wizards and sorcerers definitely.
Yeah.
Throw it out.
Yeah, I think they're the only 2 out of the spellcasting classes that have access to more damage types, elemental damage types.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's elemental adept. Moving on, grappler. Once again, this requires a prerequisite. You need to have a minimum of 13 strength or higher. Now, one thing I need to note for you guys. So, when they say there's an ability score requirement, okay? Now, say you're hit by an ability that reduces that ability score. Be it temporary or be it permanent. The moment your score goes below the requirement of that feat is no longer in effect until you get back above the prerequisite. So
it's good to mention that.
Yeah, so
mention that.
So keep that in mind. If there is a ability score requirement, if you have to meet or exceed the prerequisite, if you go below it, that feat goes offline. But the grappler, you've developed the skills necessary to hold your own in close quarters grappling. You gain the following benefits. You have advantage on attack rolls against creatures you are grappling, which is massive. That's huge. You can use your action to try and pin a creature grappled by you. To do so, make another grapple check. If you succeed, both you and the creature are restrained until the grapple ends. Now, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because when you're restrained, actually this works out better for you because you have advantage immediately on attack rolls. The moment you're restrained, technically you're grappled. You get to attack straight, while any attack the one you're grappling makes against you or anybody else is a disadvantage.
Yep.
But here's the double-edged sword part comes in the fact that you are still quote-unquote restrained, so any attack against you also has advantage. The only difference is you don't have disadvantage on your attack rolls. Could be good. And of course, and here's the thing. Now, without grappler, if say you're a medium-sized creature and the thing that you're trying to grapple is bigger than you, normally you can't grapple it. So creatures that are one size larger than you don't automatically succeed on checks to escape from your grapple. They still have to make it. They have to make use their action to break free from you. Normally they can be like, I just shrug you off and carry on with my day.
That's what makes this feat cool.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So if you're up against it, you can grapple a giant. There's no weight. There's no.
Yeah, bro. That's insane.
Yeah. There's no limit. There's no limit.
No limit.
It's just. Wait. Oops. Sorry. One size larger. My bad.
One size. Okay.
It's one size larger. So only large creatures. Anything bigger than that, you can't grapple.
That's still pretty good.
My bad. I misread that. Yeah. Like you can grapple a direwolf. Just bring it to the ground and keep it down and keep smacking it with
fucking bears.
Yeah. Freaking sick. It's awesome. I mean, the thing is, most of the time you won't use the pin action. Let's be clear. The pin action the pin action works if it's just one guy and it's you and your party members. So say it's the big bad evil guy on his own. Pin his ass down, everyone gets advantage of it. Otherwise, just grapple him. We grapple somebody, their speed becomes 0. They
0.
can't run. They can't run unless they break out of it. So you can just keep whacking on them with advantage, and it's kind of nuts. Super good. Super good.
Pretty good. Really good.
Again, it's one of those things you have to decide. Should I? It doesn't give me it doesn't give an ability score increase, but say you've maxed out what you wanted to max out, could be fun. Could be fun. Like a grappler with max strength and max constitution.
Yeah, you're good.
Feat. Knock them down. Just go ape shit on them.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
It's a crazy strat to have.
They can't hit you no more. But yeah. Oh, this next feat though. Jesus.
Oh yeah. So moving on, we've got Great Weapon Master. I love this feat. Paul loves this feat.
It's so good.
So, quote, you've learned to put the weight of a weapon to your advantage, letting its momentum empower your strikes. You gain the following benefits. So the first benefit, on your turn, when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make one melee weapon attack as a bonus action. Second benefit, before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll. If the attack roll hits, you add +10 to the attack's damage.
Stupid.
This is why we love it. I mean, so in fact, that day when we were talking Barbarian, we kind of like we touched upon this a little. Like we were talking about a Barbarian with Great Weapon Master. Reckless attack. Use your Great Weapon Master. You have a higher chance. Like for sure you'll hit.
Yeah.
For sure. Even with that -5 penalty to the attack, you're making 2 rolls. There's definitely a better chance of you hitting.
Yeah.
And then if you hit that +10 to attack damage, when you see those numbers, guys, when you calculate just your die, then you'll calculate your proficiency and the bonus and and all that stuff. Then you'll be like, oh wait, +10 to that DM, and the DM's like, bitch.
And here's the thing. Actually, no, technically you can't do that. For a second, I thought you could chain it, but you can't because it takes a bonus action to make your second attack. Which is unfortunate. You only take 1 bonus action per turn.
Yeah.
Which is the unfortunate thing. Otherwise, you could just crit, bonus attack, second attack, crit. But I'm like, I want to hit him again. Fuck. But no, it's fucking nuts. So it's really, really cool. Great Weapon Master, Barbarians. So if you're using using a halberd, great axe, great sword, anything else?
What else is heavy? I'm trying to think. In the melees, great sword, great axe,
Halberd and glaive.
Glaive.
That's the other one.
Yes.
So these four weapons. Great Weapon Master. If you use a weapon, pick up Great Weapon Master. If you're a paladin with a great sword and you're a Path of Vengeance, Vow of Enmity, and just go ape shit. Great Weapon Master with Divine Smites and fucking Hunter's Mark. It's stupid. The amount of damage you can put out in a turn is ridiculous. But yeah, that's Great Weapon Master.
Insane.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, won't great clubs also count?
Are they heavy?
Warhammers also are heavy. I think Warhammers are also heavy.
Very good question.
Let me check that.
Yeah.
Where's the books?
Yeah. Actually, that's actually a good question.
Because I think Warhammers and
D&D Beyond.
There we go. Oh, Warhammer's versatile. Doesn't count as heavy. A pike is heavy. Maul is heavy.
Maul is heavy. There you go. Yeah. So
those are the others we missed.
So technically speaking, pike, maul, halberd, greatsword, great axe, glaive.
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
Yeah. Those
Pretty
are the
good.
ones.
Pretty good. You can get a +10 to your attack. To your damage, I mean. That's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Quite fun.
Next up, Healer. This is an underrated feat. It's a stupidly
Agreed.
underrated feat. You are an able physician, allowing you to mend wounds quickly and get your allies back in the fight. You gain the following benefits. When you use a healer skill to stabilize a dying creature, the creature also regains 1 hit point. Which means if your ally is down, you're out of spell slots. I have a healer kit, I'm a healer, poof, 1 HP back. Nuts. As an action, you can also spend 1 use of your healer's kit to tend to a creature's wounds, and you can restore up to 1d6 plus 4 hit points to it. Plus, additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice. No spell slots.
No spell slots, just using your kit, using your equipment.
It is fucking insane. That heal is actually stupidly good. Now the DM will tell you how many uses you have of the healer's kit. Like you can decide that you and DM can discuss that and decide how many uses there are. But I can use it as an action instead of using cure wounds or something. I can just walk up to you and go healer's kit. Get your ass back up. You heal significantly more than a goddamn cure wounds would ever do. So,
I mean, and at the end of the day, action economy, you're saving spell slots.
Yeah.
You're saving spells. You're saving potions.
Yo.
Like in dire situations, instead of using that potion, you can just say, no, I'll heal myself or heal the other person. You can even shout out the person and be like, hey, don't do shit, I'm coming to heal you. Wait. You could do that.
Yeah. Healer is actually underrated and it's a fantastic feat. If any of you are like to play healers, like to play clerics or druids or any other class that has healing on board, healer is fantastic. Like I'd recommend this for an alchemist artificer. Because you can create a healer's kit with your
healer's kit, yeah.
Right tool for the jobs, and you can healer's kit. I heal you. Yay, health back. Because like saying artificers are half casters, so they have limited spell slots.
Yeah.
Healer feat with a healer's kit, and as an artificer, makes a lot of sense. Pretty freaking good. But yeah, underrated. Definitely look into it. Like I wouldn't say it's a must get, but I'd say definitely look into it.
Yeah, it's a very good support feat to have.
Yeah, because anybody
have some support feats like this.
Yeah, because anybody can pick this up. There's no prerequisite.
Yeah,
anyone can pick this up. Even the fighter can.
Need a healer's kit. Healer's kit are dirt cheap also. Just go buy one. Don't be a cheap ass.
The best part is you go back to town, you can restock the healer's kit with more stuff. And then the DM will say, it costs you X amount of gold. We're like, yeah, cool, done. Okay, awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, as you said, actually, it's quite underrated. It's quite underrated.
Super underrated. Because I remember in Farland, Creek picked this up. And it was massive because at level 8, so it's 1d6 plus, what was it? 1d6 plus 4 plus 8. Because we're level 8, so it's the amount of hit dice you have. Yeah. So it scales. So technically speaking, the healer thing scales really well into late game. Really well into late game.
That's quite crazy. Yeah, now I'm totally like, overseeing the whole like part of the feature where it increases, like, of course the hit dice is going to increase as you're leveling up, and it takes that and oh shit. Yeah. It makes it awesome the more you read it.
It's a good feat. It's a good feat. Like if you have spare ASIs to go, just grab it, dude.
Yeah.
Late game, this is ridiculous. 1d6 plus 20, 1d6 plus 15. That's a lot of healing. And no spell slots.
Oof. That's crazy.
I mean, the only thing is it's an action to use, but fuck that.
I mean, like, cure wounds is an action.
Yeah.
Right? You might as well just do this. Yeah. As you said, instead of using cure wounds, you'd automatically do this.
Well, here's the best part. You can use this and also use healing word.
Oh! Oh, imagine that you do this. You find the one who's like already unconscious. You go to the person, action healing kit. Then you look at your party and you're like, oh fuck, we're also fucked. Boom, mass healing word, bonus action.
There you go.
It's bang, just send it out to everyone, and your DM's like, okay, okay, fine, I give. Yes, this guy's dead. He's dead. Fine, okay. Yeah.
You-
Oh, jeez, man.
You don't
This is
have my
insane.
permission to die. Get your ass back. It's nuts.
It's nuts.
The healer kit is
It's
cool.
nuts.
It's a cool feat. Definitely look, like if you like playing healers, look into it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, don't be a healer. Anybody can use it.
Hmm.
It's a good feat. But that's the healer kit. That's a healer feat.
Mm-hmm. And moving on, we have heavily armored. Now, this one has a prerequisite as well, and you need to be proficient with medium armor. You have trained to master the use of heavy armor, gaining the following benefits. Increase your strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20, and you gain proficiency with heavy armor. Very straightforward.
Very straightforward.
Very, very straightforward. I mean, I'm trying to think good uses for this. I mean, let's say Rogue wants to get heavy armor.
No, Rose
They
only
get medium armor proficiencies?
Yeah, no, they only get light armor proficiency.
Ah,
For rogues.
sad.
No, but here's the thing.
Good.
Let's-
Yes.
I mean, think about this. Wizard. If you choose to be a hobgoblin,
Mm-mm.
you gain medium armor proficiency by default.
Right.
I can pick up heavily armored, and as a wizard, wear heavy armor.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty
good.
awesome.
Pretty good. If you want a little more AC for your, like, if you don't want to use mage armor, chuck this on. I now have 16 AC by default.
It's
Fuck it
quite
up.
sick, actually.
Put some chainmail on it.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's pretty good. But I mean, the applications again, it's one of those things you can finagle a little bit. Like some races give you, or some races, or maybe even some backgrounds, give you certain proficiencies. Some
Right.
could be medium armor.
Yeah.
Some could be heavy armor. But yeah, you can merely just like, yeah, I put heavy armor on. My AC is 16.
Mm-hmm.
No, be fine.
Yeah. But that's all this feat is about. It's quite straightforward, quite minimal with what it gives you. But that is heavily armored. And like we said, there are a lot of these feats you'll come across reading through, if you're reading through Players Handbook, like what we're reading from. You'll see a lot of cool feats with cool names, but then you'll be like, okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Got it.
It's fine.
Yeah, you have to understand it's just the, like, the creators just giving you, like, hey, it's there. If you want it here, you can take it as a feat. It's there. It might not be the greatest thing. Sorry, it's what we can give y'all. Like, we have to remember they need to balance shit as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll come across a lot of these features which are quite mediocre. But again, who knows? Maybe I might not see heavily armored as something that I do not want to use at all. But might be someone who's thinking just the opposite and be like, holy shit, this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? There you go.
Like, you can be a blade singer with heavily armored. Go have fun with it.
That would be a brilliant combo. That'd be a brilliant combo.
Could be fun. Heavy armor
But
plus a shield, plus the shield spell.
Oh, plus the shield. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it just becomes stupid. Moving on. Heavy armor master. Again, prerequisite. Proficiency with heavy armor. So if you pick heavily armored or you already have proficiency with heavy armor, this can be taken. You increase your strength score by 1 to maximum 20, obviously as always. While you are wearing heavy armor, bludgeoning, piercing and slashing damage you take from non-magical weapons is reduced by 3. This is kind of cool. This is kind of neat. A 3 reduction from damage could save your life.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a 1 reduction still can save your life. It's pretty good. But again, extremely straightforward. I wouldn't recommend it. There are better feats, I would say. But if you want, like, I think if you have spare feats to get, pick it up for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
Pick it up if you want. But yeah, it's very straightforward.
Yeah. And next one, inspiring leader. This one has a prerequisite as well, and it's a charisma score of 13 or higher. So you can spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions, shoring up their resolves to fight. When you do so, choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself, within 30 feet of you who can see or hear you and who can understand you. Each creature can gain temporary hit points equal to your level plus your charisma modifier. A creature can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until it has finished a short or long rest.
It's nuts.
It's quite awesome. It's quite awesome.
This also scales to late game.
At
level 10, your charisma modifier, say it's +5. You're a bard. You're a bard. You're a warlock. You're a sorcerer,
pally, whatever.
You're a paladin, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you're a battle master fighter who's got a high charisma. Fucking A. 15 temporary hit points for free? Bruh. Before a fight, walk in, you temporary hit points, you're already good to go. I don't think anything else apart from Hero's Feast, nothing gives this much temporary hit points.
True.
It's kind of nuts.
True.
Charisma modifier plus your level. And here's a fucking fuck. And the thing is, there's no roll for either. It's just.
Yeah, it's no roll. It's no roll.
I'm level 10. It's 10 plus my charisma modifier. 15 or 14 or more.
Most of our other, abilities that grant temp hit points, if it's arcane in nature also, we have to roll most of the time.
Yeah. Like for example, Twilight Cleric has to roll 1d6 plus your level.
Yeah, plus our level.
It's still pretty good. It's still pretty high amount.
It's good. It's pretty high amount.
Yeah.
But this is a guaranteed amount.
Yeah.
You know that amount according to your level is given. You don't have to be like, oh, yo, hope you get a good roll for this. You know, let's say, for example, you're a level, say you have a +4 to your charisma modifier and you're a level 4 bard. You've got 8 temp points. You know that constant 8 temporary hit points is going to be given to you and your buddies. Well, up to 6 people is 6 friendly creatures. And again, the creatures you have to be able to see them. They have to either be able to hear you or they have to understand you. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing also. It's the fact that, the only thing I'd say about it is that it just takes 10 minutes. So it's one of those things you have to do outside of combat or before a fight. It's not gonna be one of those features that will help you in say you're fucking ambushed. Yeah, if you're ambushed and caught surprised, you're not gonna take 10 minutes to do this. Nope. Yeah, not great.
Yeah, but for something to prepare the party,
before a fight,
pretty awesome.
It's quite good.
Pretty awesome.
Just before you're about to rush the dungeon for the final bad guy, everybody gets chonk healing, chonk amount of protection. Let's go. Let's fight.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah. Quite huge. But
Next.
That's inspiring leader. Carry on, sir.
It's not a bad ability. It's just you have to be very careful when you use it. Because the only thing it gives you is that temporary hit points. It doesn't give you any other features.
Nothing else.
which is unfortunate. I feel like that's a misplay. It should give you something else. Maybe I would say if you pick up Inspiring Leader, I'd give you a +1 to charisma.
Right.
Because you are the leader. You lead with charisma and Josh. So I'm like, yes. I would give you a +1 to charisma if you choose this feat. Up next, Keen Mind.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. We'll discuss after I finish reading it. You have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. You gain the following benefits. Your intelligence score increases by 1 to a maximum of 20. You always know which way is north. You always know the number of hours left before next sunrise or sunset. and you can accurately recall anything you've seen or heard within the past month. Now, it's a sleeper ability. It's a sleeper feat.
Yeah, very passive, very passive.
It can be good, or if you are someone who takes notes every session, keen mind is kind of pointless. Like if you suck at keeping notes and keen mind, you can just like, oh yeah, when did it happen? It happened last week. DM, what happened? I know exactly what happened. What happened? You can do that.
Yeah.
And the DM's like, fucking damn it. Like, fine.
For example, Liam, all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone will turn to Caleb. Caleb, what time is it? Matt, what time is it?
Yeah. Liam has no idea, but Caleb knows.
Yeah, Caleb knows.
Matt, what time is it? He's like, fuck. It's annoying.
I mean,
No,
I
it's
like it.
just-
I like it.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
for example, if I'm playing a character who is that person, who's like, whose mind is constantly on the jog and like, always aware of everything that's happening, knows who he's met, he or she's met, and all that good stuff, it would work really well. There's some pretty cool stuff you could bring out. I mean, there could be like make or break dialogues you could have forgotten between a character, but if your character has been there in person and overheard it, or was the person in the conversation, and let's say it was within the month, you remember that, and you could probably potentially use that to your advantage, or throw that person completely off and be like, but remember you said this. And they'll be like, shit.
I mean, it's actually a good feat for you to actually sometimes stump you. Because DMs have a hard time keeping track of shit. Because we're keeping track of so many things. You can actually fuck the DM with this. You can actually fuck them over with this. They'll hate you, but they'll love you at the same time. They're like, good, you're using your shit. Super cool. Keen mind is actually good.
Super cool.
Again, it's a very sleeper feature. Like, it depends on the campaign as well.
Yeah.
It's very campaign dependent. I mean, the thing is, like, most people pick this up purely for the +1 to intelligence, honestly. So you're always going to get fucking artificers or wizards picking this up. Mainly to just bump up their in score. But again, the other which way is north? What time is it? And again, it's all very roleplay heavy stuff. But
yeah,
could be good. Could be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's keen mind for you guys.
And moving on, we have lightly armored. You have trained to master the use of light armor, gaining the following benefits. The first benefit, you increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. And the second benefit you gain from it, you gain proficiency with light armor. I mean, that's about it. It's super straightforward again, just very similar to heavily armored, except heavily armored had a prerequisite. This doesn't have that. It's, I guess, yeah, it's one of those feats, I guess.
I mean, if you're a sorcerer, like, okay.
Sure. I mean, they
Let's
don't get
say-
proficiency in any armor, right? Sorcerers
Exactly,
and
yeah.
wizards,
They don't get proficiency. So if you want to be a spellcaster, like either sorcerer or wizard, you can get this feat.
you could get this, yeah.
But here's the thing, like say for example, you're playing a draconic ancestry sorcerer, draconic origin sorcerer, which means by default you gain armor equal to your dexterity modifier. So
It's
I think it's 12 plus your dex modifier.
should something like that, yeah.
So you don't really need it per se, because you're already getting an armor boost from your class itself.
Yeah.
It's an okay feat. I would say forget it. Don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Pointless. Because immediately, like as a wizard, I can go mage armor. I immediately gain.
I was just
more.
going to say that. You immediately gain from mage armor, so
Significantly higher. So,
you're not gonna be looking into this.
I mean, again, you pick it up purely for the +1 in strength or dex. Again, it's just a ASI boost. If you have a spare, take it. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, that's lightly armored.
Then we have linguist. Again, extremely straightforward. Your int score goes up by 1, maximum of 20. You learn 3 languages of your choice. But here's the other thing. You are able to create written ciphers. Others can't decipher a code unless you teach them, and they have to succeed on an intelligence check, which is equal to your DC, which is basically your intelligence modifier, plus your proficiency bonus, or they have to use magic to decipher it. It's kind of cool to send coded messages. I can write a code. I can write code in Dwarvish. I can write code in Giant. Whatever I wish. It's kind of neat. Again, campaign dependent.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not effective enough to use normally. But again, you're picking it up because +1 to intelligence. I get a boost. Let's take it. Makes sense.
I mean, it could be fun also in a way, like say a wizard picks it up and he starts scribing his scrolls in a particular code that only he would understand. Make it hard for anyone else to try and copy his spells. Let's just say he's come up with a brilliant spell and he's got the linguist feat. He could potentially write his code, like write the script in this code which he understands.
Only he can
understand. And no, like any other wizard, let's say they come across the scroll, they'll be like, what the fuck is this about? They'd have to succeed on a pretty high intelligence check to read that. Again, it's quite niche, but yeah.
No, that's the thing. Even if you teach the people how to read it, they still have to make it.
They still have to make it. Yeah. It's quite cool.
I mean, it has applications. Again, niche.
Yeah.
But the
Very
applications
niche.
are there. Like,
Very play style dependent.
Yeah. Like I would say mainly is just that +1 is what you want, honestly. Now the next feat. Broken. Fucking broken. I hate anyone who picks this feat.
Hi. I haven't picked lucky. I don't know if I'll ever pick lucky. I've been tempted.
It's so good.
The next feat is lucky. So you have inexplicable luck that seems to kick in at just the right moment. That's the code. And it's exactly as the code says. Like, and okay, listen to this. You have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, a saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend 1 of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. You choose which of the d20s is used for the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. That's one part of it. Now, here's the second half of the feat. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you. Roll a d20 and then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. If more than 1 creature spends a luck point to influence the outcome of a roll, the points cancel each other out. No additional dice are rolled. You regain your expended luck points when you finish a long rest.
It's free advantage.
I mean, I've seen this feature being used in the most clutch of situations, and that's what makes it one of the most amazing features and probably one of the most broken features. But again, it justifies not being broken just because, it's 3 points and thankfully it doesn't do more, right? It doesn't give you luck to, like in any other regions, mechanics wise. Paul.
Whoa, hold up. You can use this.
Okay, Paul.
You can use this on a death saving throw.
It's luck.
It's 3 free advantage rolls.
Mm-hmm.
You get to roll 3 things for free at advantage. It's ridiculous. As a DM, I fucking hate it. As a player, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
What pisses me off actually is that you gain all 3 back.
Yes. That's the amazing part.
I hate that part. I hate that. I'm like, if it was me, someone picks lucky in my campaign, I'm like, you regain 1 after a long rest. Just to balance it out, because 3 free advantage. I mean, fucking God damn it. It's stupid. Fucking hate it.
It's crazy. It's quite crazy. I mean, like I said, I've seen people use it and change outcomes of dire situations.
Here's the thing: pick a halfling luck with lucky. God damn it!
Yeah, you're just the luckiest creature ever.
Rogues, lucky, take it. Piss off, Conrad.
No, please don't. No, please no.
Piss off, Conrad.
And most of the time, it's fucking rogues only. You take it.
Yeah. Rogues, pick up lucky.
It's annoying. I hate lucky rogues. I'll agree that. They're too annoying. I mean, those guys don't need any luck on their side. They just hit their shit anyways.
Yeah.
It's like the only few times you get to trap them, and if they have luck, oh my god. No.
It's stupid. But yeah, that's lucky.
That's lucky.
Anybody can pick this up and use it well.
No prerequisite.
Anybody can use it.
Awesome.
And there's no limit on it. The only limit is 3.
Yeah,
you have 3 rolls. No other limits. There's no other problem. You're paralyzed, you can still use it. You're unconscious, you can still use it. It's ridiculous.
You're born lucky.
Yeah. Moving on. Mage Slayer. You have practiced techniques useful in melee combat against spellcasters, and you gain the following benefits. When a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature. Super good. If the target mage is targeting your cleric who's in the backline, you're up front next to that person, smack him. Shut the fuck up. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell, the creature has disadvantage on the saving throw to maintain its concentration. That's actually kind of cool because a lot of endgame bosses use a lot of concentration debilitating spells. Force Cage, Wall of Force, all these things. You smack them, they have to roll their save at disadvantage, which is super cool. I mean, you can stop their effects. And of course, you have advantage on saving throws against spells by creatures cast within 5 feet of you. It's okay. I mean, I can dodge.
I would say
the
second benefit I would say is like pretty awesome from it. Having a spellcaster make that concentration saving throw at disadvantage every time. That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like you are the bane of any mage around if they're using concentration spells. Super good. And of course, remember, any feats that players get access to, DMs have access to as well. So be careful what you wish for. Because the DM can use it. Actually, as a DM, I would never use lucky because that's too broken for monsters to have.
Yeah, for mods, oh god, no.
Yeah.
No. Oh. Even I would never do that to players, no.
Yeah.
No.
But Mage Slayer I'd use. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Mage Slayer.
That's the Mage Slayer. And moving on, we have Magic Initiate. I like this feat.
Cool feat.
So, choose a class: Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. You learn 2 cantrips of your choice from that class's spell list. In addition, choose 1 first level spell from that same list. You can learn that spell and cast it at its lowest level. Once you cast it, you must finish a long rest before you can cast it again. Your spellcasting ability for these spells depend on the class you choose, which are Charisma for Bard and Sorcerer or Warlock, and Wisdom for Cleric or Druid, and Intelligence for Wizards. It's a pretty cool feat.
Here's an idea for you. Rogues.
God damn it! Stop it!
Fighters and rogues. Or even barbarians. Find familiar. Have fun. Always advantage.
Yep.
Always have sneak attack.
Pretty cool.
Sick. I mean, as a warrior, you do any cantrips on that?
Yeah, you
cantrips.
could take Eldritch
Booming
Blast,
blade.
bro.
Booming blade.
I'll fucking take Eldritch Blast.
Dude, as a fighter, I'll go booming blade, bro. Immediately, like fucking smack you, walk away. You take a step, take damage, bitch. Booming blade is nuts. Or green flame blade. Fucking insane. You can do so much stuff to augment yourself.
No, like let's say you're a melee fighter and you want something range and magical. Fucking Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. Eldritch Blast, Mind Sliver. Mind Sliver even better. Stupid.
Crazy.
Find Familiar. Familiar is there. Ally. Sneak attack all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you could be, let's say you're a cleric and you want, let's say you have a good intelligence. You could pick this up and pick up something from the wizard list.
Yeah, like Find Familiar. Because the best part of Find Familiar is...
Pretty awesome.
Because the Familiar can... Actually, we should do a whole episode on Find Familiar. That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. The uses,
so, Find Familiar, you can actually use Cure Wounds through the Familiar, have the Familiar fly across and deliver the spell.
Yeah.
To Cure Wounds on somebody else. It's insane.
It's pretty cool.
The Find Familiar spell is
we should do a Find Familiar special. Talk about all the greatest familiars ever known.
Oh, yes. Stupidly good. But that's Magic Initiate. It's awesome. I mean, pick up Vicious Mockery. Just give someone disadvantage. It's whatever. But again, the only thing I'd say is make sure you have a good score for what you're choosing.
Whatever you're choosing for. Exactly.
I mean, the only matter, technically speaking, if you're using something that requires saving throws, I would say. So you're going to use Mind Sliver and make sure you have a good intelligence score to make Mind Sliver worth it.
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast doesn't matter because you don't have access to Agonizing Blast. It's just 1d10 of damage out of force damage. I mean, 1d10 force damage is still pretty good. Still a pretty good amount of damage. But even then, I'd say get something like Booming Blade or something like that would be much nicer.
Booming Blade will be nuts.
It'll be pretty good. Well, that's Magic Edition. Moving on to Martial Adept. Now, when we talk about fighters, the Battle Master is the best S-tier, S-fucking tier fighter subclass. Anyway, excuse me. So, Martial Adept. You have martial training that allows you to perform special combat maneuvers, and you gain the following benefits. You learn 2 maneuvers of your choice from among those available to the Battle Master archetype in the fighter class. If a maneuver you use requires the target to make a saving throw to resist the maneuver's effects, the saving throw is the DC is equal to 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your strength or dexterity modifier. That's up to you to choose. If you already have superiority dice, which Battle Masters get by default, you gain 1 more. Otherwise, you have 1 superiority die, which is a D6. This die is used to fuel your maneuvers, and you regain expended uses when you finish a long or short rest. The Battle Master is one of the most versatile, one of the most powerful fighter classes there is. If anybody's going to pick up a fighter, I would recommend you pick up a Battle Master because it's...
I 100% agree. It's the definition of the fighter.
It's so good.
For me, it's always definition of the fighter. Like, I've looked up the fighter many a time because I wanted to make a fighter. In future, I might make, I really want to make a fighter. And I've gone through the subclasses only, but I always end up going back to Battle Master and constantly reading because I'm like, the other ones give you certain cool things, but yeah, when we get to the fighter, you guys will know.
The Battle Master is nuts.
It's nuts.
It's
nuts. The so maneuver list is crazy.
And especially with Tasha's new maneuver list. Some of those maneuvers are insane.
Brutal.
Yeah. But that's Martial Adept. If you're ever picking up, the best part is as a Battle Master, your superiority dice go up in dice. You start at D6, then go to D8, then D10, then D12. Pick this up. You get an extra of the same that you have. If you're not already a Battle Master, you get a D6. Otherwise, for them, you can get an extra D10 or an extra D5, D8, should you wish to. Pretty cool. Pretty sick.
Yeah.
But that's martial adept. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And moving on, the next one we have medium armor master. Now this one has a prerequisite: proficiency with medium armor. So to quote, you have practiced moving in medium armor to gain the following benefits. The first benefit: wearing medium armor doesn't impose disadvantage on your dexterity check.
So
Well, could be your stealth checks also
yeah,
as well.
there's
Yeah.
there are some medium armors like I think scale mail and breastplate.
Breastplate.
They give you disadvantage,
Yeah.
but with this, you're no longer disadvantaged.
You're good. You're
Yeah.
good. And the second benefit, when you wear medium armor, you can add 3 rather than 2 to your AC if you have a dexterity of 16 or higher.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is when you're wearing medium armor, if your dexterity score is basically it has a cap. No matter what medium armor you wear, caps at 2. Even if your dexterity modifier is, let's just say it's a 4, it'll still just cap at a 2. But if you have medium armor master, it adds sort of like a 1 to it, and you gain 3 instead.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a high dex mod of 4, 5, you're not necessarily capped at 2. It's at 3 now.
Yeah.
Good. It's good enough. It's that
One increase.
+1 bump to the
Yeah.
AC.
I mean, honestly, you're better off finding a +1 armor than picking
Yeah.
this up.
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly.
Again, it's quite similar to the previous master we saw.
The heavy armor.
The heavily armored, it's quite similar to that. It's again one of those things. If you want it, if you have the spare, yeah, go for it.
If you want to pick it up, otherwise you can miss it. No one will care.
Yeah, yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
But that's medium armor master.
Then it's mobile. Oh my god, this feat is ridiculous. Fuck me sideways. Mobile is stupid. You increase your speed by 10 feet. Monks, pick up mobile. Melee rogues, pick up mobile. When you use the dash action, your difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement on that turn, which is insane. You get to move your full movement across fucking. Oh. Now, this is what everyone loves. This is why you pick it. When you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of the turn, whether you hit or not. You can jump in, stab, bonus action, dash away. They cannot hit you.
Crazy.
They cannot hit you. How fucking amazing is that? Jump in, stab, get out. Jump in, stab, get out. You cannot be hit. Monks.
This is why I
rogues.
don't like rogues.
Yeah, monks and rogues.
They just keep getting so many feats also that just buff
Yeah,
them.
rogues get 6 feet. Rogues can pick 6 feet. I mean, let's be clear. By level 8, you've already maxed your dex. You've maxed your, say your intelligence or whatever. I'm like, I have to pick up some feats. I'll grab lucky. I'll grab mobile. And just make my DM's day like shit.
Jeez.
Mobile is stupid. It's good. Pick it up.
Quite.
Mobile is good.
If you're not we were just emphasizing on rogues because they can make really good use of it. But in general, like you said, fighters also you can make use of it.
Any melee class can do really well with this.
Barbs also, go for it.
Go for it. I can smack you, run away, smack the next guy.
Run away, yeah. So, like extra attack. So you take your first attack at one dude, smack him, then go to the next guy. He can't take just dash over to the next guy, run over to the next guy. He can't do shit to you.
Yeah, because I mean the other barbarian
take
feature
his
is
opportunity
like the
attack.
moment you rage, you can also move again 30 feet.
Yeah.
It's nuts. You can just weave through and just cut a fucking path through everybody.
It's mental. It's
It's
without
super
taking
good.
opportunity
Yeah,
attacks.
without taking opportunity attacks.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's fucking crazy. But yeah, that's mobile. Great feat. Pick it up. It's awesome. If you're a melee class, pick it up.
And next we have moderately armored. Again, this one has a prerequisite. You need proficiency with light armor.
So this works
You
the same
have-
as
it's quite similar.
Heavily armored. Same.
Heavily armored, yeah. So the same thing, you gain benefits when you're wearing when you use medium armor and shields, basically. So you increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. And the second benefit, you gain proficiency with medium armor and shields.
Pretty good.
Very straightforward. Yeah.
That's good.
I would say out of the three, is a little better because
Because
you're
shields.
getting proficiency to shields as well.
Shields is good.
So it's not it's and. Like medium armor and shield. It's not like you have to choose. You get both. So you could just, like, the moment you pick up this feat, head to the nearest armorer, pick up some good medium armor, pick up the freaking shield. You're good, buddy. You're good. Yeah, I would say out of all those, like, these armored feats, so to say, I would say this one would be something I would actually maybe think of. Like,
Hell yeah.
Looking
I
into.
mean, like Shiro can pick this up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Up my dex by 1, get access to shields. I'm a wizard with a
Yeah.
shield and mage armor.
Oh god. But yeah, I would say this is more favorable out of the three.
Definitely more favorable.
Yeah. But yeah, that's moderately armored.
Mounted combatant. Now this, okay, we'll read through it.
Mhm.
You are a dangerous foe to face while mounted. While you are mounted, you are incapacitated. You gain the following benefits. You have advantage on melee attack rolls against any unmounted creature that is smaller than your mount. You can force an attack targeted at your mount to target you instead. If your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to only take half damage, it instead takes no damage. And if it succeeds on the saving throw, and it only takes half damage if it fails. It's how often are you mounted?
Exactly. I mean, first of all, it's responsibility when you have, like, mounts and all with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the fact that, like, I don't
Most
want
of
to
the
get hit.
time as it's done.
I
Yeah.
mean, unless of course you have this like strong tie to your mount. Even then, it's like your mount's not going to be useful in a dungeon where it can't fit, or it's at a castle.
Yeah, it's very,
Or-
very, 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 very niche.
or underwater. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's so niche. It's so niche.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those feats where the creators are just like, it's there. If you want proficiency in it, it's there. Don't worry.
Yeah,
They just threw it in there.
just ignore it. Ignore it.
Yeah.
Honestly, just fucking ignore it. Because, it's weird how you roll. So basically, what's gonna happen is you would roll initiative for your mount and then yourself. So your mount will move on its turn. And you gotta wait for your fucking turn to make anything happen. So it's just like, no. Just no. And why would I want to get hit? Hit my mount.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Mounted combatant, just ignore it, dude. It's not a good feat.
Yeah.
It's so niche. Even in its niche, it's minimal at best.
Well, moving on. The next one is observant. Quote, quick to notice details of your environment, you gain the following benefits. The first benefit, increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. The second benefit, if you can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. And the third benefit, you have a +5 bonus to your passive wisdom, rather your perception and passive intelligence, your investigation scores.
Pretty
Pretty good. Being able to liberate.
Observation and actor. Have fun.
Oh yeah. That's some espionage shit, bro. I mean, that's like fucking D&D 007 right there.
I mean, yeah. It's perfect for a heist.
Yeah.
Heist
yeah.
campaign. Go for it.
Yeah.
Observe it.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Pretty
And
fun.
having that +5 bonus to wisdom and in scores is
Investigation. It's really good.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
And if you already have a good score to it already, woo!
Yeah. Like druids, rangers, fucking artificers, wizards, observant,
Mm-hmm.
+1 wisdom or intelligence. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Could be fun.
Clerics also.
Okay, so as we get closer to the end of this list, this is where some of the best feats are. Next up, pole arm fucking master. Holy shit! This thing is okay. I'll tell you why. There's a feat coming up later, which makes this even more broken. So you can keep enemies at bay with reach weapons, and you gain the following benefits. When you take the attack action and attack only with a glaive, halberd, or quarterstaff, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. The damage die for this attack is a d4, and it deals bludgeoning damage. So I can smack you, so I can go attack, extra attack, and then another d4 of just smack you with the butt end of my staff.
Bonk you in the head with the butt of it, dunk.
Which is fun. That's perfectly fine. But what makes it even better is this. While you are wielding a glaive, halberd, pike, or quarterstaff, other creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they enter your reach. These weapons have a range of 10 feet. Some guy is coming at you, you can smack them before they get to you. Just smack them. And this combos well with the feat that's coming up later. You'll see in a second. But Polar Master, fuck. Amazing feat. Amazing feat. Now after that comes even a better feat. Go for it, boy.
Oof. Resilient.
Oh my god.
Choose one ability score and you gain the following benefits. Increase the chosen ability score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You gain proficiency in saving throws using the chosen ability.
And you can do this every ASI.
It's
every fucking ASI.
It sounds so simple. But when you think that it actually racks up, when you actually understand that it racks up, you're like, oh wait, I keep getting... Oh!
My constitution sucks. +1 to constitution and now constitution saving throw proficiency.
Yeah.
Let's go. My wizard did this.
Wizards, I was just gonna say, wizards.
Resilient, go for it.
Like, it's spellcasters, I think in general you can, especially if you're focusing on concentration spells, fucking druids and clerics.
Yeah.
Quite a good feat for druids and clerics because we have most fucking concentration spells in the history of D&D.
Yeah,
and resilient will, having that advantage, like say you put it in constitution if you're a cleric or druid to get that constitution saving throw.
More likely to keep the spells up.
Yeah. Oh, such a simple, like a very plain. It's worded so simple, right? But
it's very powerful.
The application is quite powerful.
It's super powerful. Resilient is awesome. If you don't know what to pick for your ASIs, like you say you have ASI full up, you need some feats. Resilient, always resilient. It's so good. Next up, now this one kind of pisses me off a little bit. So it's called Ritual Caster. The prerequisite is intelligence or wisdom. I wish charisma was part of that as well. But either way.
Just to expand it.
Yeah. Give more people options. But whatever. So, Ritual Caster. So, you have learned a number of spells that you can cast as rituals. These spells can be written in a ritual book, which you must have in hand while casting one of them. When you choose this feat, you acquire magically a ritual book holding 2 first level spells of your choice. Choose one of the following classes: Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. And you must choose spells from that spell's class list. So you pick one class, and you gain 2 spells of that class list. And the spells you choose must have the ritual tag. And the class you choose also determines your spellcasting ability for these spells. So Charisma for Druid, Bards and Sorcerers. Sorry, for Bards, Sorcerers and Warlocks, my bad. Wisdom for Cleric and Druid. Intelligence for Wizard or Artificer. If you come across a spell in written form, such as a scroll, you can add it to your ritual book. Kinda neat.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. But the spell must be on the spell list for the class that you've chosen. And the spell's level can be no higher than half your level rounded up. And again, it must have the ritual tag. The process of copying the spell into your book takes 2 hours per the level of the spell and 50 gold per level. The cost represents the material components expended as you experiment with the spell to master it, as well as the inks you have to need to record it. So Ritual Caster basically gives you ability to cast ritual spells. Not only druids, clerics, and wizards are by default ritual casters.
Ritual casters, yeah.
Everyone else has to learn the ritual caster feat. If you don't have ritual caster, if you can't cast ritual spells, normally like through ritual, you have to use a spell slot to do it. But again, they are usually the materials required to do the said spell. It's a good feat. But then I can just play a warlock and pick Pact of the Tome, and immediately I can cast spells.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Again, it's not one of those features. Like, again, it sounds very, very cool, and the application is actually like really useful and quite powerful. But it's, I don't know. I personally would not look at Ritual Caster at all.
Yeah.
At all. I see no need for it.
I mean, maybe there's precedent for it, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Again, that also is probably depending, I don't know, the campaign situation or.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even campaign dependent. It's one of those feats, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, if you guys can think of something cool a cool reason to pick it up, then go for it. I'm not saying don't. It could be useful.
Yeah, could be useful.
I mean, if you find a ritual spell on the ground somewhere, goes, ooh, I can put that into my spell book or into my ritual book. It's cool. It's fine. But yeah, that's Ritual Caster. Not bad, not good. It's okay.
Yeah. But moving on. Oh, one of my favorite feats. Savage Attacker. So once per turn when you roll damage for melee weapon attack, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice and use either roll. It's pretty cool. Again, if you have, like, I won't say it's like something to look as a priority, like, you know, as a high level feat or anything of sort. It's one of those, if you have a spare, like, you know, feat, like a chance to take a feat just for the like, you know, sake of taking one, and you know it would work, and if you're a melee character, Savage Attacker is pretty cool.
I mean, think about it.
It's pretty cool.
Savage Attacker with great weapon fighting.
You can, if you roll a bad, like a really bad roll with that -5, Savage Attacker, please try one more.
Yeah, try one more time. Great.
Try one more.
Great weapon fighting. Oh, I got some 1s and 2s there. Let me re-roll those. Up the damage even more. Now,
Yeah.
remember I mentioned a feat that goes really well with Polearm Master?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sentinel. Polearm Master plus Sentinel is the most broken combination that you can have as a melee fighter.
I got him ass whooped by it personally.
Be it a barbarian, be it a fighter, paladin, rogues, fucking monks. Holy shit. So Sentinel, when you hit a creature with opportunity attack, that creature's speed immediately becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. If they're running at you, you have Polearm Master and Sentinel. They can within 10 feet of you, smack, stop moving.
Smack.
You're done. You can't get closer to me. I'm like, smack, run away. Creatures within 5 feet of you provoke opportunity attacks from you Even if they take the disengage action, rogues go die in a
killer.
fucking hole. It's a rogue killer. Rogue goes, I disengage. Too bad. Smack. You stay where you are. No running away from you. It's like, yeah, you're stuck here, bitch. What's up? And next part is when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target that is not you, you can attack that person for attacking your friend.
Wow.
And hey, you're a monk. Stun the motherfucker. Stun his ass.
Yeah. It's a beautiful feature. Like
It's so good.
it's a very common feature that a lot of people pick up. A lot of melee classes pick up. Oh, it's good fun, man. Sentinel is
Sentinel. Oh my god. Sentinel Polar Master. Can't beat it.
it's a deadly combo.
It's stupidly deadly.
Deadly combo.
So deadly.
Oof.
So
Oof.
good. It's broken. It's broken. It's without question. Like it should not be allowed, but it is.
But it's there.
Abuse it. Abuse it. Players abuse it. Your DMs will hate you, but it's awesome. Moving on to the next feat, which works really well with Crossbow Expert.
Yes. Sharpshooter. So to quote, you have mastered ranged weapons and can make shots that others find impossible. You gain the following benefits. The first benefit: attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged weapon attack rolls.
Okay, so to clarify this, every ranged weapon has a minimum range and a maximum range. The minimum range is you can attack without disadvantage. If they're beyond the minimum range, then you attack at disadvantage. Here's the thing. Longbows have a range of 600 feet. You can shoot someone 600 feet away. Fuck. It's stupid.
And that's the first benefit. The second benefit: your ranged weapon attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. So just to explain to people who are new to the mechanics, like you can take cover, right? When you're in combat, let's say there's a wall or there's a table or something, some object that's providing you cover. There's certain amount of cover. There's half cover, there's quarter cover, and there's 3/4 cover. Now this immediately cancels half and 3/4 cover.
Yeah, so for those of you not familiar,
So-
half cover gives you a +2 to your AC, and
Yeah.
3/4 give you +5 to your AC.
That's huge.
So imagine you are hiding your entire body behind a wall, your head's popped out, you try to shoot somebody. I can still hit you without any problem because I can see your fucking face.
And you could be, let's say you had a long bow, you're 600 feet away. You are sniping this ass out.
You can shoot a dude. You can just
Camp heaven for days, baby.
Yeah.
CS:GO days.
Just fucking, you can shoot the wings off a fly.
Oh yeah.
That's how good this thing is.
It's amazing. And the third benefit: before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll. If the attack hits, you add +10 to the attack's damage. Again, it's like Great Weapon Master for ranged characters.
So
Ooh.
crossbow expert with this.
With this, ooh.
Because
You're
crossbow.
a beast.
So crossbows, for those of you not familiar, a hand crossbow, maximum range is 120. Heavy crossbow, max range is 400. Light crossbow, max range is 320. You can shoot from far away, crossbow expert, with extra attack, 3 shots at that range in one turn. You can turn someone into a pincushion before they even get to you.
Oh, it's quite gnarly.
It's
quite gnarly.
Stupid. It's so good. If you
I
get a chance, crossbow expert and sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, and if you have Hunter's Mark, if you're a ranger.
I mean, Hunter's Mark has a 60-foot range, so that's no problem. But I'm saying is a fucking Gloomstalker range.
Ooh, my god.
Fuck. You do so much damage on your first turn.
So much damage.
So much damage. You just destroy people. You melt people. 3 arrows and already dead in one turn. And the best part is on each of those arrows, plus 10 damage.
Mm-hmm.
The minus 5. Fuck!
Man,
Get wrecked.
crazy.
Stupidly good.
Don't even get me started about this being used with rogues as well. Fuck. Don't even get me started with that racking up in damage.
Rogues get 2 shots as opposed to involving 3 shots.
But still,
Yeah.
let's just. Freaking sneak attack, dude.
It only applies once per
They
turn.
get the
Only
damn
once per
sneak
turn.
attack.
Only
Still,
once
you know that sneak attack damage. Once they're like I've seen it like with my eyes with these tap rogues, right? Because I play with 2 hard hitters, freaking Shreyas in one game, Shiv in one game. They hit hard. Or their damage rolls. The sneak attack damage from the moment I've seen them like go from level 6 at level 7, it's nothing.
Nutty damage.
So that plus this plus 10 from Shield Master, from Sharpshooter, and
Yeah, it's nuts.
it's nuts.
Crossbow Expert and Sharpshooter. Grab it. Great combo. It's a really, really great combo.
Man, all the good feats are surprisingly coming like in alphabetical order.
Yeah, some really cool feats now.
But yeah, that's Sharpshooter.
Yeah. Up next, Shield Master. Quote, you use shields not just for protection but also for offense. And you gain the following benefits while you are wielding a shield. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try and shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield. You just shove them away from you.
Mm-hmm.
You can displace them. Displacement is actually a very powerful tool in D&D. If you can displace somebody, it's huge. If you aren't incapacitated, you can add your shield's AC bonus to any dexterity saving throw you make against a spell or other harmful effects that targets only you, which is huge.
Ooh.
You can turn a failed dexterity saving throw against Fireball into a success with your shield's AC.
Man.
So if you have a +1 shield, that's +3 to your dex save.
Ooh.
Pretty neat. If you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw only to take half damage, you can use your reaction to take no damage. And if you succeed on the saving throw, you can you basically put your shield between you and yourself. So you just kind of like, if you guys have watched Wonder Woman and she's like charging that trench line that keeps getting fired, she drops down to her knee, puts her shield down, she gets shot there. That's pretty much that effect. You can just negate Fireball altogether. Just super. I take no damage, bitch. What's up?
Man, amazing.
Visual,
amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Visually, it's
amazing.
super cool. But that's Shield Master. Really
Yeah.
cool. Displace somebody or just, be stronger and more powerful. And more defensive. It's kind of nice. Next up.
Next up, we have Skill. You gain proficiency in any combination of 3 skills or tools of your choice.
It's okay.
Yeah. Again, this if you just want to chumma pick up a feat, maybe if you want to gain proficiency in some tool or something. Yeah.
It's
worth
okay.
it.
It's okay.
Like we said, these are filler feats.
Yeah. Like, you have an ASI, you're like, fuck it, I'll pick up this. Yeah. So I can get proficiency in, I don't know, investigation or perception or stealth or whatever the fuck. Cool.
Yeah.
Rogues, welcome back. Skulker. Prerequisite. Dexterity 13 or higher. You are an expert at slinking through the shadows and you gain the following benefits. You can try to hide when you are lightly obscured from the creature which you are hiding from. And when you hid from the creature and miss it with a range attack, making that attack doesn't reveal your position. You have advantage until you move if you are hidden. Rogues, Skulker is stupid. Gloomstalker Rangers, Skulker with Crossbow Expert and Sharpshooter is ridiculous. You get 3 attacks with advantage plus the +10 and -5 to roll, but you get to shoot at advantage. Who cares anyway? You are
Jeez,
doing
man.
so much fucking damage.
Oof.
Skulker is so good. And the best part, dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your perception checks.
Woo.
Skulker, the reason you're picking it up honestly is the fact that when you're hidden, you will not be revealed when you attack. It's so good. You stay in stealth and you shoot people. Shreyas, Maja, Timer getting a Skulker. It'll be nuts. Could be fun. So check it out.
Broken.
Little broken.
Broke. Little.
Yeah, rogues and rangers. Have fun with this. Piss off your demon.
But yeah, moving on, we have Spell Sniper. And this has a prerequisite as well, the ability to cast at least one spell. You have learned techniques to enhance your attacks with certain kinds of spells, gaining the following benefits. The first benefit, when you cast a spell that requires you to make an attack roll, the spell's range is doubled.
It's good.
Quite awesome. Oh, quite awesome, man. Imagine just doubling the range of fire. I mean, no, fireball is not a thing. I mean, let's say firebolt or guiding bolt.
Chromatic orb.
Chromatic orb.
Disintegrate.
Or a double
Disintegrate
ranged Eldritch Blast. Ooh.
Eldritch Blast, yes, Spell Sniper.
Ooh, that'll be awesome.
240 feet.
So that's the first benefit. Second benefit, your ranged spell attack rolls ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. Again,
like
similar to sharpshooter. Yeah. And the third benefit, you learn one cantrip that requires an attack roll. Choose that cantrip from the bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard spell list. Your spell casting ability for this cantrip depends on the spell list you choose from. Again, same charisma for bards, sorcerers, or warlocks, wisdom for clerics and druids, and intelligence for wizards.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Spell Sniper's pretty good.
Pretty cool.
I can shoot you across the room. In fact, I can shoot you from the next room. I'm 3 rooms away. Each room is 30 feet. I can see you snipe. Shoot you in the face. Sure, go for it. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Kind of nuts.
Kind of nuts.
It's a good.
And again, the prerequisite is you just have the ability to cast at least one
Here's the
spell.
thing: Spell Sniper along with Distance Spell. Meta magic from sorcerers.
That could be. Ooh.
Because Spell
That's
Sniper,
quite broken.
Spell Sniper already makes it double. This
Yeah.
spell doubles it further.
Doubles it further. That's.
You can just shoot across the fucking map.
Oh no.
Yeah. Kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Again, could be fun.
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is more of a fun thing to have. I wouldn't say it's a must-have or a must-need or must-pick up, but it's fun. Super fun.
But yeah, that was Spell Sniper.
Yeah. Next up, Tavern Brawler. Could be fun for a monk. Accustomed to rough and tumble fighting using whatever weapons happen to be on hand, you gain the following benefits. Your strength or con score go up by 1 to a maximum of 20. You are proficient with improvised weapons and unarmed strikes. So, normally when you pick up an improvised weapon, they say I pick up a bottle or something. It's just a bottle. I'm not really proficient with it. It just does basic damage. I would say just roll a strength check, and the damage will be your strength modifier. But I'm proficient. I can have a proficiency bonus for that shit. So if I'm disarmed, I can pick up a bone on the ground and smack you with it and still do a decent amount of damage, or pick up a table and smack you with a table. Could be fun.
Yeah.
And when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike or an improvised weapon on your turn, you can use a bonus action to grapple the target. Could be fun. Now there's a homebrew class, and also
I was just gonna say that.
it's called the Pugilist. It's homebrew.
Yeah.
Check with your DM if it's allowed. If it's allowed, then go for it. Otherwise, there's also the unarmed fighting style, which came out in Tasha's, which could also be really good for this as well. You can check that out. But that's Tavern Brawler. Could be fun. You're doing a city crawl, and you just want to beat people up in bars.
I mean, it's fun for monks also.
Yeah, super fun. Super fun. Barbarians going.
Find someone and then grapple him.
Yeah, I mean, Barbs going just hand in fist. Just go. Beat the shit out of you. Pretty sick. But yeah, that's not one problem.
Yeah. And the next one is tough. Oh, it's quite an interesting one. Yeah. So your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your level when you gain this feat. When you gain a level thereafter, your hit point maximum increases by an additional 2 hit points.
Huge.
Love this feat. Love this feat.
Yep.
Like, I personally, I'd say, like, if you want to be a really beefy character, if you're a barbarian who already has some hit points, but you're like, hey, I wanna get some more. You know, tough. Start it from level 4 itself. Rack that shit up, baby.
Yeah.
Rack it up. Let's say your campaign goes just till 12 itself. It racks up 2 more times, so that's like another extra 4 free points added to whatever you roll on your hit dice, like, you know, for your hit points and level up.
Insane. Like you can become
It's
an
insane.
absolute meat shield.
Oh,
It's so good.
oh,
So good.
it's
Tough
it's
is
very
good.
good. Yeah, and that's all the feat. There's no prerequisite or anything. to it
Anybody
also.
can get it. Anybody can pick it up.
Yeah, it just goes directly to your hit points. It has to deal with your hit points.
Yeah.
It's quite awesome.
It's quite
Quite
good.
awesome.
Quite good. You're a squishy wizard. Not on hit points. You roll really bad. You're a hit dice.
Mm.
Tough.
Tough.
Let's double it up. Let's go.
Yeah. And I'd say it's always smarter to take it earlier.
Yeah.
Like, take it earlier so you can rack up few more, like, you know, points.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Super cool.
Next up, Warcaster. This is actually a fantastic feat
Mm-hmm.
for anybody who uses concentration spells. Clerics.
Oh, yeah. The clerics and my babies.
Wizards. These three, they use it the best. So Warcaster, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws that require you to make concentration. So how concentration spells work is, say you cast something like, let's say, Wall of Force. If you are hit by a melee attack, you have to make a concentration check, which basically you throw a concentration saving throw. And if the damage that you take is either... So let's say you take 20 damage on that hit. You roll a concentration check, which is a concentration saving throw. When you roll that saving throw, if the dice is equal to half or more, or 10 and above, you succeed on the concentration check. Therefore, you get to maintain your spell. So that's always the usual thing. So Warcaster lets you do that thing at advantage, which means you are more likely to keep up your powerful concentration spell. It could be Bless, which is amazing because it scales beautifully into the late game. Wall of Force, Force Cage, all this stuff, amazing. Anything that requires concentration, this is your beauty of it. Next one, you can perform the somatic components of a spell even when you're holding a weapon or a shield in both hands. So say you are a Bladesinger wizard. Some of your spells require you to have somatic components. You might pick up Shield Master to get, or you might pick up moderately armored to pick up a shield. You can use a shield and have your blade in your hand and still be able to cast somatic spells. So your hands no longer need to be free. You don't have to drop your weapon, put them away to cast your spells. You can still hold whatever you're in your hand and still cast your somatic spells and cast those spells. It's really, really cool. And last but not least, when a hostile creature's movements promotes an opportunity attack from you, you can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature. So the only prerequisite that this spell must have a casting time of 1 action. But that means I can cast anything on them that requires an action. So I can cast Hold Person on them. If they're trying to leave me, Hold Person, hold still, you can't go anywhere, you're stuck, you're paralyzed. I can do Mind Sliver, anything. It's so good. Because most of the time, when you're up against someone who's in melee, tries to leave your thing, all you can hit them with is with like a tiny dagger or your staff or something like that, which doesn't do much damage. Instead, I can just throw out a fucking spell and be like, no. Come back here, motherfucker. Can't sleep. Whatever you
Oh.
want. But yeah, that's Warcaster. Great feat. Really, really good feat. For those of you who love your concentration spells, Warcaster is your go-to. Trust me, man. It's very, very good.
Yeah. I've seen quite a few people pick it up and use it really well. Comes in clutch too.
It comes in a super clutch.
Comes in clutch. Just having that advantage on Constitution saving throws itself actually is quite clutch. Many a time. Again, especially if you're concentrating a lot.
Yeah.
Man, druids and clerics, trust me, guys, you're gonna be concentrating a lot. Even wizards have a wider choice, so they don't necessarily end up choosing too many concentration spells.
Yep.
So it's usually clerics and druids who get the spells you gain access to are a bunch of concentration spells. Brutal ones though.
Yeah.
Extremely powerful. But yeah. So Warcaster is something you could think of if you don't want resilient and you want these things. Warcaster is something else that can help spellcasters gain that advantage.
I would say Warcaster is a good feat for a Blade Singer. It's fantastic for a Blade Singer. And with Tasha's new rules, anyone can become a Blade Singer. Warcaster, trust me, it's huge. And now our final feat of Players Handbook.
Yes, and it's aptly titled Weapon Master. So you have practiced extensively with a variety of weapons, gaining the following benefits. The first benefit: increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. And your second benefit: you gain proficiency with 4 weapons of your choice.
I would say this is good for anyone except the paladin, fighter, and a barbarian.
Yeah.
Mainly because barbarians and those 3 classes gain martial proficiency and super weapons. Everything.
Which are most of your hard-hitting weapons.
Exactly. So you want to be a monk with a glaive? Go for it.
Great axe? So
Go great axe, yeah. I mean, go Kensei monk.
Halberd monk.
Yeah, halberd monk. Wave the Kensei.
Good read. Woo.
Have fun. Want to be a wizard with swords and weapons and all that stuff?
Why
Go
not?
for it.
Why not?
Go for it. It's good fun.
I mean, this could be one of those fun feats where, let's just say, if your DM loves your players, allows you, the players, to gain features by putting in time, like either training or if it's something that needs reading knowledge, you read. But he sets a time for it. There's a time goal for it. He'll be like, okay, it will take you so many hours or probably so many days, whatever, however you guys work it out. Weapon Master would be fun. He would probably tell you, if it was me, I would anyways openly have this in my games when I run. I love players to if anyone tells me say supposing Paul's characters, I'll be like, hey, I wanna meet someone and train and gain some proficiency. And if it's something that works from a feat, I'll go for it. Weapon Master is absolutely awesome because it's quite easy to work it in. You just have to find someone who's in that town or wherever you are, who's good with weapons, who's a person's good at fighting and willing to teach you. Spend some time with them.
Yeah.
You'll get Weapon Master.
Yeah. So like concept, a lot of these feats can actually be learned from someone teaching you or from a book.
Exactly. You don't necessarily have to waste not waste, rather use up that ASI level.
Yeah.
For a feat. You could potentially learn a lot of these in-game, spending in-game time.
100%. So some lightly armored or heavy weapon, whatever, heavy armor, whatever. All that stuff you can figure out by just doing training in it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do. I mean, there are a few others which are not. With those few others, you actually need to put in the time.
Yeah.
Use your ASI for them.
Some have prerequisites and stuff.
Yeah.
Those would be hard to fuck them in.
But most of the other ones, you can actually figure out a way to learn it yourself without having to use up your ASIs for that.
Yeah.
So, but guys, that's the entire feat list from the Players Handbook.
Whew.
That's it. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's
And
a
there's
lot.
more.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many
I
more.
mean, I'm waiting for when the podcast reaches the segment where we start talking about all the newer stuff that's come out.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Some of these new feats are
oh,
ridiculous. Ridiculous sense that it's so good that it's given players so much flexibility
Yes.
to work the characters.
And people are making cool characters.
Cool shit. Cool shit.
Really cool shit. And it also gives the DMs a lot of fun stuff to work with. Also, we need to sit, like, probably do a segment one day where we talk about the DM's perspective also, right?
Oh, hi, 100%. 100%. But yeah, wow, that was a 2-hour video. Jesus Christ. That took longer than I thought it would.
I mean, I kind of expected it, but I actually expected it to go much longer.
Oh, yeah?
I was
Yeah.
thinking we might go a little longer than 2 hours, but 2 hours not bad.
But yeah, so these are the feats available to all player characters using the Player's Handbook. You guys can pick this up at your desired levels, or if your DM allows you to, pick them up in different variety of different levels. And it's super fun, super cool, mix and match. Pick what you like, pick what might make more sense for you. Do you need the ASI? Do you need the feat? Make the decision for yourself. Talk to your DM also. It's like, if I pick this up, does it make sense, or should I just go for the ASI? I'm like, if your score is already 18, I just say, just put it up to 20, because you can.
Yeah.
You know, make it 20 so you're a little better at what you do. The feat can come later. You know, stuff like that. Mess around, have some fun, read up on the different feats you have. Like I was saying, we'll cover the other feats soon. There are so many more, which are just nuts. But I think that is everything from us. Anything else you want to add, Con?
No, I think that's it.
All right then, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will catch you all next week. What do you want to do? Actually, what do you want to do next week? Any idea, or we will make a surprise?
We'll surprise them.
Oh, okay. We'll surprise you. Surprise you means we have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, we're professionals, okay?
Yeah, we're such
I know what I'm
professionals.
doing.
But yeah, so we'll catch you guys all later. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember, you can follow me and Conrad at our various Instagram handles, as you can see, at House of Grim for me. And for Conrad, it's ConnorBoy_24. As per usual, the amazing art you see before you is done by our very own Priscilla Dillon. You can hit her up on her Instagram at Prissy Dilly, as you can see at the top right. Hit her up for any art that you might want for your characters, for any art. She's a graphic designer. She's phenomenal. She just finished some artwork for me, for my channel, and it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see it fully completed. I've seen the work done a little bit, and it looks amazing.
Nice.
Like, I love it. But catch you guys all next week. So from us to you guys, until next time, roll for initiative, and we'll see you then. Peace out.
Woohoo!